Today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. In the last episode we saw quite a few things happen around Europe, and also a lot to do with colonization over here in the Americas, as lots of countries like Germany, the Netherlands, Japan and other powers start colonizing the world. We also saw the Russian country getting a new leader who is very sought out on expansion. We'll be seeing more from him in this episode, and also a lot more filling in of East Asia. If you like what I do, make sure to subscribe because you never miss a video again. But hey, let's just get right into it. So down here in the Lime Team's colony, it's, as I said in the last episode, Hungary did have to sell a bit of land over to Russia and Romania. But now we're going to be seeing kind of similar thing happen with Italy. They're struggling to hold on to this Cyprus and southern Turkey colony. So they're going to have to let it go. And we now have the Cypriot Empire in Ulwick, so yes, Norwegian is going to be crying with this one. But not so fast, as instantly when this country is made, it is quite weak. So we see the countries around here declare war. This is first started off by the pink team as they wrap around and grab this major city here. Then the remnants of Anatolia are going to get involved, taking a bit of land. Now, they are very different to OG Anatolia, so even though they're just the same colour, they're definitely not even close to being the same country. And then the blue country over here is going to invade, and the world is just like, damn, you couldn't just let a new country exist for 5 minutes. But the pink team is probably going to do the best here. They actually have pretty close relations with the red team, so they get a lot of trade go between them. And yeah, tell you what, I haven't touched in a while, trade routes. But I don't think we need this layer anymore. And I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna keep it. But I don't think we need it anymore because I'm just going to say the trade routes are completed. I don't really like having trade routes in the series. I don't know. Hey. But we do end up seeing the country get eventually fully kicked out of Turkey, and we see a peace treaty now. But as we can see here, the Turkish lands will be divided up. As this northern part here will be going to wrong layer. But this northern part right here is going to be going to Anatolia. This is going to be going to the magenta country. And the rest of this is actually going to be going to the blue team. So yeah, big L for the Cypriots. Yeah. Hey, I guess these guys can now just peacefully exist in Cyprus and never have anything bad happen to them again. Oh, that's not very good. The Cypriots get invaded by Egypt straight after this peace treaty, and they just get fully annexed. So yeah, bad for Cyprus. Cyprus is not had a very good history. They keep coming into the series, and then they just get instantly obliterated by another country. It feels like they have anti-plot armor, so yeah, bye-bye Cyprus. You existed for like 2 minutes. But anyway, moving away from the mess of post-Anatolian Eastern Mediterranean, that was a really long sentence. We're going to see a few more, invasions from Russia. Actually, we're going to see just 2. Not the same point in the video. As first, we see, my mouse is going to die in a bit. Anyway, down here, the Russians are going to start their invasion of the orange team. This is for they want more resources at the minute. They all are a bit low, and that is the basis they're going on. They just need resources. But you may be saying this is literally just what the Anatolians were doing, but no, people respect Russia a lot more as they are actually quite good friends with a lot of Europe. They held pretty neutral relations with the whole continent, basically, and they are kind of like a peacekeeper in Europe. Like, hey, we don't want a big fight over here again. We're just gonna pick on these little guys. And they are basically like anti-world war. They don't care if there's a few like wars, but they just like they don't want a big war. I mean, I wouldn't say world war because there's never been a world war, but great wars. They didn't like the War of Succession, and they didn't like the Anatolian War. So yeah, they're eventually going to capture the capital of the this country, and then they're going to invade into the rest of it and fully take it out pretty damn quickly. And now Russia has just expanded more into the Central Asia, they're getting close to expanding into Central Asia, and yeah, they are looking quite scary on the border of many countries now, as they're going to start to train their militaries better. So next, now we see a bit more, I guess, exploration into the Midwest of the United States. But this is going to go well for everyone really, as they are just cooking with exploration at the minute. We have entered the age of colonization fully now. And yeah, the Anatolians, they were very expansionist, but these guys are expansionist in other ways. Whereas the Anatolians wanted to colonize everyone around them, these guys just wanted to colonize the Americas. So yeah, they're gonna pretty much just explore now all of Mexico, and they meet up with this Baja Californian country, and they force them to explore, and eventually meet up with over here in the west coast, and still start to explore. These guys are exploring a lot. That was all done by Portugal. Now let's look at what's happened with France as they are exploring the colder areas. They are going more around here and just doing well. They managed to explore all of Michigan, and they're kind of starting to set camps around the Great Lake. They have very good equipment, and they are just very good. They're actually quite good at exploring the French. They really haven't had a lot of exploring to do. Obviously Europe just got filled in ages ago, but they haven't had much exploring to do for ages. So yeah, now they're just going to explore a lot more. Same thing with the Dutch and the British Union up here in the very far north of America, as they are helping discover the rest of Quebec. And then we see them cut across over here and meet up with Hudson Bay. I believe it is Hudson Bay, if I'm correct, but yeah. They're going to explore and colonize, or not colonize, but they're going to explore pretty much all of southern Quebec now, and yeah. Now let's take a look at the expansion. But we see the French be able to take all of this land here, and they are able to encircle a lot of the Great Lakes like this, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And the French have now encircled quite a lot of the Great Lakes, so I'm actually just going to wrap them around a bit more, as they now take over just a lot of the northern parts of the United States. But let's take a look at Portugal's expansion. Oh god, they take quite a lot of land over here, and now the straight lines are starting to really kick in. There's been a few all here now. And, colonization is starting to kick off now, just for, competitiveness with other nations. Now see the Dutch expand. Anyway, over here in the north, we see the Dutch colonize all of this now around the northwestern New England, kind of New Brunswick areas. And we have the British Union taking the rest. Germany's not going to colonize because they're not really interested at the minute. They have Greenland, and also they have stuff to worry about in Europe. So they are going to do a bit of colonization in Greenland. And by a bit, I mean they pretty much take the rest of the continent as they start to rapidly expand into it, and they just claim the whole thing. Really, it's not like they're really settling the whole northern part of Greenland. They're just claiming it because no one else to really stop their claim. Who is really in Sweden? No, Sweden ain't really interested in colonization. We do see the Germans start to explore over here, but they don't do much because it's very cold. They're just going to leave it like this in a minute. Japan isn't going to colonize, as they kind of want to just do a bit more exploring for now. And they're going to do a lot more exploring around the coast, starting to get down these colder areas here. Yeah, they are. I mean, they haven't been found yet by the Europeans, but they don't know it's a different continent yet. They still believe that they are on a different continent. Anyway, we're going to see a little bit more now happen, as we have the Portuguese entering into this yellow country here, and they're going to get their capital captured and pushed around. They're going to then move up here. These guys are far better in technology than the Mexicans, and they're just going to fall over eventually. And in this peace treaty, they're going to get fully annexed. And the Portuguese Empire is now really starting to expand into the Caribbean area. They've pretty much taken over the entire Caribbean, actually, and they're going to continue dominating the southern United States for the rest of the time being. Anyway, over here in Lake Victoria, we see a brand new country pop up. They're not going to have a capital because they're basically like a tribal nation, but there's going to be a country here pop up, and we're going to actually take a bit more expansion. By expansion, I mean colonial expansion, as the Germans have just made a colony in, I guess, this Western African region, and the Portuguese don't even know at the minute about this colony, so they're going to try and keep this a secret, as they don't want the Portuguese to find out and get a bit and get angry with them. So yeah, they're just going to keep this a bit of a secret for now, and they tell these guys not to tell anyone, otherwise they're going to get invaded. So yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at a bit more expansion into Africa in general. This is quite a lot of expansion into Africa here. They're going really deep into the Sahara. So we have Portugal taking all of this land. They also managed to take these islands over here, because why not? What's really the benefit of not taking them? Or what's the benefit? Or what's the downside of taking them? Sorry, wrong words. But they're going to tremendously expand their colony, because they say, well, what's stopping us from really just taking the whole thing? But they want to be nice, so yeah, at least at the minute they want to be nice. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? That's not going to be there, no. We then have Algeria coming down and claiming this land here, so now they own this. We have the Tunisians and Carthaginians taking this down here. The Libyans are going to take a bit, being all of this, and they are now a lot bigger. We're going to see the Egyptians manage to take all of this in the treaty. And the Djiboutians are now going to be huge, taking all of this, and yeah, they're big empires. Anyway, moving across from Africa over across the Indian Ocean, actually, we see a war breaking out between the gold and the purple country here. As we have these two, they have a trade deal where they kind of both occupy this strait here. But in the recent years, this gold team has been fully occupying it, and it makes these guys a bit mad. So what they're going to do is they're going to be like, hey, give us control within the next month, or we're going to invade you and declare war. And the gold Indians are going to be like, go on then, let's have a fight. So they're going to start to block these guys and stop allowing them from coming through. They own this island here, and that's where they're able to do this. And the Sri Lankans are going to decide to declare war on them. The Sri Lankans are going to be able to move in first. I mean, they used to be the Indian Empire, so they are definitely pretty strong. So they're going to move into this region over here. I'm going to turn provinces off, but they're going to move into this region over here. But then we see the Golden Indians push back a bit, and they manage to push them out of this part here, and then make a small invasion in the north, taking a bit of this land. It's quite back and forth here, but then these guys are going to kind of go out a bit, and yeah, it's going to take a few years to do this, but they are going to be able to cut off the capital from the north. And then we see the Sri Lankans push the Golden Indians fully out of the country, and then they start the siege on the capital down here. But up north we have the Grey Indians, no, I guess they're the Dark Cyan Indians. They're going to invade into the north of the Golden Country here. They're going to go down the country and just take the land, and these guys are just going to sprint up and grab this, and they're going to be like, huh. But hey, what can you do? This falls over, and then eventually, after a few more years of fighting, the rest of the Indian country falls over to the army. In this peace deal here, we see the Golden Indian country no longer exist, and they'll be divided between these two. And Sri Lanka is going to finally be able to move the capital of Sri Lanka back to their old one here. This is definitely the most developed city in India. This is a huge city. It's the biggest city in maybe South Asia in general. And India is slowly starting to be reunited under an empire. Next on from India, we'll move to the Balkans. There's going to be another pretty small war happening here, but it's going to set some things up for the future. As we have the Albanians starting to invade into the Lime team, as they want to take back the territory, but what they're really just trying to do is they really want to take back the territory, but they frame this as a way to end the cruel military dictatorship of this country. Here, it's not really for that; it's just to expand their territory once again, as they really want their empire back. But hey, just let it go. Just let it go, man. Like, it's not coming back. But they're gonna get quite a lot of They get quite a lot of praise from these countries. It's because no one really likes the Slam team down here. So they're gonna get invaded, and the Albanians are gonna be able to pretty much fully take out the capital with some help from the other nations, and eventually they will be completely taken over and fully annexed into the Albanian country. They are trying to get their empire back really badly right now, so they've definitely succeeded, and they now have an actual major city. I'm just going to add a few more major cities in, because I feel like we do need them a bit. Like, it's not enough around here, I don't think. There will be more. I mean, I'm not going to go full on Zaynats level, but it's going to be a lot. Also, I'm recording this on a live stream as well, so that's why I might feel a bit different, because I'm taking in a few suggestions from other people, so yeah. Like this Indian war down here, that was a suggestion from someone else. What is happening here? There's some, what? Okay, I don't know what that was. Interesting, I guess, but yeah. But anyway, now we see the Russians decide to invade back into Brown Russia. Now, Brown Russia used to be part of Old Russia, but Russia wants to expand back into this country just so they can, also take more lands over in Siberia over here. So yeah, they're going to decide to invade them. And we see the Russians start to roll into Brown Russia. Russia is actually extremely strong at the minute. They could be a future contender for the strongest country in the world, because they are just kicking butt right now against the Brown Russians over here. Whoa, that's not meant to happen. But they're going to do very well against the Brown Russians. The Brown Russians are very weak. They just broke away from Russia, and there was a peaceful split, so that's why, they never really fought a war. They never had to. They've had, wait, what do you mean? Yeah, but they've just settled around here, but unfortunately now they're going to get invaded by their bigger brothers. I guess they'd be like their dad, but it's weird. But Brown Russia is now going to get the capital threatened and eventually taken, So yeah, I don't like these guys. And they will surrender now over to Russia. They didn't really have much will to fight. So yeah, let's take a look at the peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, they are fully annexed into the Russian Empire because the brown Russians just like can't. They just couldn't survive really. Like they could have just taken them on, but they couldn't survive. So they're now being annexed into Russia once again. And yeah, nice. And now we actually see Central Asia get fully filled in. As the salmon country is going to take this land here. Salmon? Wow. Weird. We have this country taking this land here. This turquoise colour, I guess. The gold country is going to take this here. And this pink country, which used to be grey but is now purple, magenta-ish, is now going to take all of this. And then finally the big dog Russia is going to get the rest of this here. They are not really wanting to expand anymore in, I guess, Siberia. They don't really see a point, and they can just like, probably just pick on the rest of these guys here, and that's probably all they really want to do is just take this land and then probably just back out of expansionism. But yeah, we'll have to see where that goes in the future. So yeah, quite cool I guess. Anyway, it's a big moment in the series now, as a lot of countries are going to keep exploring Siberia for just they just pretty much put all of their effort into exploring it now. And we're going to end up seeing the continent, or I guess the area, get fully now discovered and a bit more expansion. But now we see it get nearly filled in as we see Japan take this and they now wrap around a lot in Siberia. They are definitely the strong, maybe not, maybe it's right close between them and China for the strongest country in the world at the minute. I definitely give this slight edge to Japan just because they have a lot more of a colonial empire and also a lot of viable land down here in Indonesia. Then we have the Baikalian country here, lavender. They'll take all of this. We see the olive. No, this is like another turquoise colour. They're going to take this land. And then the dark magenta country, which is a bit grey, they're going to take all of this land here. So yeah. Anyway, now with Central Asian expansion out of the way, we're going to see a bit of a teaser for a pretty big war, which could be starting in the next episode. Just maybe not. But the red team and Persia have been having some arguments recently. This being with Persia not agreeing with the red team taking all this land here. Now, the red team did sign a contract, or sign a deal, I guess, at the end of World War II, or no, not World War II, and end of the War of Succession, and it said that they can never retake back their empire, but they technically have kind of done that, and Persia was one of the countries that signed that treaty, and the king now doesn't like the red team, and he starts saying, hey, you can't just come back and expand, we should be given some land, just for compensation, and the land they demand is crazy. They demand pretty much all of this, which is literally the core promises of the red team. They can't just take this. You can't just take Metopia. And the red team is obviously going to say no. And the Persians are going to be angered by this. So, yeah. But the Persians feel like they've been cheated in history. And they start saying really bad things to the red team. And the red team's like, we literally helped you exist. Why would you be like hating us now? And the Persians then will decide to basically screw themselves. And they will start an invasion of the red team down here. And I guess we have the Second War of Arabia starting now, as the Persians will already spill in. Persians are stronger than the red team at the minute, but it could always change. But as we see now, the Persians have invaded the red team, and we will see what happens with this in the next episode. Yeah, I'm ending it now. I don't want to have these be as long. I want them to be a bit shorter, but release them a bit more often. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Next episode is going to be quite a big one. We may see some more countries collapse or maybe come back, Could see a coalition of the will in style thing where the Persians come out and grab this. But, yeah, we see now this happen. And I guess, yeah, let's see you in the next one. Catch you later. Bye-bye.